Welcome to Wayne's World. No, I'm kidding.
Wayne's World.
That was arcade.
Yes. Have also we did that intro for one show.
Yeah.
You need your long hair for that too. You don't have it anymore.
You're just wearing like muscle egg like t-shirts.
All right, so should we do that for Halloween?
I think so.
Yeah. One of us can wear a muscle egg shirt and the other one can wear a Prestige Lab shirt.
Okay, but are we wearing wigs or not?
Yeah, of course.
I have my
At least
hair
for the
long.
intro. Well, you won't need it. Your hair is long as fuck.
Oh my god. Need a haircut is what I need.
I guess you're Wayne because you're dating an Asian.
Well, it's been a long time since we pushed our twin beds together. We're not just dating anymore.
It's Wayne's World too.
We leveled up. All right, take two. Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
What's up?
As always, social media coordinator, destroyer,
What's up?
and we've got Titan and Brajol on the broadcast today. Today, Brajol decided to stay in his own bed instead of between the two of us, so we're not so cramped today. I was watching last week's episode briefly, and you couldn't even see Braj's head. He was so comfy here, and like the books and the table were just high enough. It looked like I was just petting air.
Scratching your leg.
Yeah.
He was nestled.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucking beautiful. We took a few days off. It was nice not to have to wake up at 4 a.m. for
Our first
several
vacation
days.
in 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, a first time away.
First time off.
Yeah.
First voluntary time off.
Just a few days.
Excluding the lockdown.
Yeah, that was not a vacation.
No. But it was nice to get away. I had a total of 3 adult beverages in the 3 days we were away. Amazing.
Solid.
I'm like a new man. Ate a lot of great food, and got to recharge the batteries. So that's always important. But yeah, no, it's we've had a nice relief from this heat in New York. I cannot complain about the weather we've been having lately.
This is like, I could live in this weather. If we had this like almost every day, wake up, it's like mid 50s, then it ends up being like mid 70s, upper 70s to 80.
It's perfect.
That's like perfect running weather for you too, Des.
Yeah, it has been.
Whether it's morning or nighttime or afternoon, like you can run in any of it.
Yeah.
Shirtless,
No.
not that hot.
Not that hot. Yeah. not those kinds of days.
Playlist though.
Yeah. The whole time I was just thinking that the rain signified change in the weather.
Oh, shout out Miss Hinchcliffe /
Like,
Mrs. Kearns.
This is bringing on something.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually brought on actual fall weather.
Yeah.
It's weird for New York, honestly.
Yes. This is true.
We normally have summer well into October.
Oh my gosh.
You may have
Crazy.
spoken too soon.
Yeah,
You never know what's gonna happen. We did get a blizzard on Halloween one year.
That's
Oh
true.
my god. Remember that? It was like an ice storm.
That was wild.
That's bad.
I remember one thing that really upset us about that was I was still coaching football in Nanuet, and program numbers were starting to dip as far as kids coming out for football. So that year of the blizzard, our season got cut short. The modified season got cut short. We only played 4 games, so yeah, we were worried that would really hurt the program going forward, because like barely had kids coming out anyway. That was the year after, so that was your brother Aiden's freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I had that group like Connor Bright and all those kids. They were in 8th grade, and we were like, shit. I was like, this is the last thing we need. But no, that grade went on to do some shit in football, so that it worked out.
For sure.
Yeah. Connor became the all-time leading point scorer in Nanuet football history. So
They were brutes. They were,
he's a man-child.
but all of them as a team, I mean, they were just, that
Mhm.
year was, or those next few years were
A lot of athletes in those
pretty-
2 years.
Yeah, really good.
both male and female.
That's true.
So, yeah. Speaking of the athletes real quick, the gym is starting to empty because all the college athletes are now gone. So, yeah, definitely a slightly different vibe. You know, it was a great summer with a lot of them. I still have to post about one of our greatest transformations I think we've had as far as athletes recently, Jack McGrath.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and we'll go over it. You'll see in the posts on social media when I put it up. But the kid's he's a lineman in college at Cortland, and he put on weight, which was actually mostly muscle, because he put on basically straight lean mass and dropped a ton of fat mass, and in doing so, got faster. And we have the data to back it up. So, that's pretty scary to see someone that's just shy of 300 chasing you down.
Oh my God. I don't think people realize how powerful when you put that strength and that power together. And what's awesome is how much he's felt it in his body too. What a change, even within himself. You know, just cleaning up his diet and getting him structured in how he was eating and how he was feeling as he was starting to change those things, and complementing that with the very well structured and programmed strength work that you've been doing with him, and then all of his speed work too.
No fancy drills, no ladders,
No
fucking like Vertimax shit, like none of that. Just straight sprinting and cleaning up his form and making as best as we can in the little time we had. So,
and he was all for it too.
Yeah, he's definitely great to work with. So yeah, since we're already highlighted some athletes, isn't there some clients you want to highlight for having some wins this week? Or even the past couple weeks, I should say.
Well, let's even Coach Kevin Mendoza, who just came back from a second place at his powerlifting competition, full power meet, so squat, bench, deadlift. We took 12 weeks to drop a weight class. He decided to really go for it and drop a full weight class. So from the 181 weight class to the 165 weight class. Granted, he just took on another job, a new job, crazy hours, not getting much sleep, fitting in his training when he could. So the eating, drinking, hydrating, sleeping schedule was all over the place. He's been able to maintain and continue to drop body fat at his new leaner weight. So from that 181, he was hovering between like 181 and 185 initially. Feeling strong at that weight, yes, but now feeling strong and a hell of a lot leaner at this new set point, at this new body weight. And he looks amazing. We're going to continue to recomp now, so we're going to continue to allow his body to mold into this new frame, which he's loving. And he's continuing to get back in the groove with his schedule. He still has some crazy doubles that he's going, setting up for at the hospital, and still trying to find the balance, and he's working on that. So hats off to Coach Kevin Mendoza. Who else? Client Megan Monteith. She's, I think, in 4 weeks, she's dropped 25 pounds.
Yeah.
25 pounds.
Crushing it.
Over 15 pounds of fat mass gone. She's in here with us twice a week, getting her strength work in. We're really starting to build her back up again. Started working with her years ago. She's had some health complications in the past, so that's why we had to put it on hold. She's back now. She's focusing on her nutrition, which was a huge main component, and then adding in 2 days of strength work a week, step goals, daily habits that we've been incorporating, and she's been working on completing every day. She has a 3-year-old daughter who's beautiful and comes in and watches her mom train, and inspires her too. So it's hats off to Megan. She's doing amazing. Getting her life back to where she wants it to be, feeling strong, feeling healthy, and we're only moving forward from here. And then Denise Christensen I wanted to bring up too.
D-Block.
My gosh. This has been an ongoing process for Denise. She's continually transforming. But even in these past, I'd say 2 to 3 months, the focus for her and what's been so, I think, mind-blowing and life-changing for her has been, of course, getting really set on her nutrition, dialing in on it, pushing the weight. So she's here, 4 to 6 days a week, depending upon how often she can get here. She's very committed. Specific conditioning that I program for her twice a week that she's in here for, in addition to the strength work she's doing. Getting in her habits and completing them. Very specific mindset habits and daily habits that she has in her dashboard that we apply. Everyone has their Overdrive app. So we use that specifically for our hybrid clients that work on their nutrition and their training with us, whether it's remote and or in person, and they get to do both of those things when they start to work with us. She's crushed it. She's absolutely crushed it. She has added on so much lean mass and dropped so much body fat within even these past couple of months, just by really dialing in on those specific components and staying accountable, from client to coach. That's a huge factor, and I can't stress that enough. The accountability factor, being on point, and being honest with yourself and checking in every day, completing your habits specific to your goals, specific to her goals, and everyone else that has their goals set for them in their dashboard. So those are 3 of our adult athletes, along with our athletes, our high school and college athletes that have really struck gold here, like just with themselves. I mean, they've really pushed and been very, very successful.
Yes. Kudos to all of you for crushing it recently. I guess we'll get right into the topic of the day too, because one thing that has helped a lot of our clients succeed is not only, we're not patting ourselves in the back right now and saying it's the accountability coaching that we offer, right? And it is, but one thing is doing little things here and there to help all our clients stay accountable, right? And one of those things is simple activity trackers. So with our app, you can link your Fitbit or your Apple Watch to it, and it'll help tell us what you're doing every day. We'll know, if you're telling us you're active but you're only recording 1,000 steps a day, then we're gonna be like, okay, clearly you're not. We really got to get you in a deficit, and that could require many things. Up your training, lower your calories, whatever it is, or just fucking moving more. Start walking more, right? But that's one of the greatest things too, about the activity trackers. It'll at least give us notice and heads up on how consistent you are, so that you can achieve your goals, right? And I know a lot of your clients, you've set some goals, right? Let's say
everybody has
10
goals. Yeah.
I'm just making up a number, 10,000 steps, whatever, right? Apple Watch will actually, you can set individual goals for yourself on your Apple Watch. It can be the goal is to burn 1,600 active calories a day, whatever, right? Some people have it less, whatever. I don't know. I think I set some bullshit arbitrary numbers in there for myself, but it's more just to see I did enough to close my rings out every day, even though I don't actually rely on that data. And it's kind of what I'm getting into right now is activity trackers are great. They help hold you accountable. They help us coach you better. But one thing you should never do when you're when you have an activity tracker is to eat back the calories that you burned, right? So when you link it to MyFitnessPal or anything or other apps, right, it'll say like, oh, you burned 700 calories today working out, and in order to stay in your deficit you should eat that back. Like, don't do that. Those calculations are usually off, right?
Yeah.
So you could have burned more, you could have burned less. You most likely burned a lot less than you think, right? But that's why it's so important for your weekly check-ins with us. See where your body fat is, your body weight, let alone that, your lean mass, how it affected your BMR, and then I'd say we'll take over from there, but it's really you'll take over from there and make the adjustments as necessary.
Well, that's why it's always nice to have forms of data, not just one piece of data or one form of data or one set of numbers. Anything that has to do with these trackers, whether it's heart rate, steps, calorie burn, etc. These are usually off by a bit. They're just averages, and right, we can arm swing all we want, but we could be sitting on the couch the whole time, right? Or we could, your rings could close, but was the intensity high enough? Like, you know what I mean? So we want to push ourselves. We want our heart rate should increase and decrease. We want that high and low. The heart likes the high and the low. The heart and the lungs need that, and they like that. And that's how we get better, and that's how we increase our capacity, and it allows us to do more in general. Everything goes hand in hand, but at the same time, it can tend to throw you off in regards to your goals if that's all you're using. We have to look at different forms of data, and it's always nice to be able to check in with a coach or with someone that actually knows what they're looking at and where they're going with it in accordance to the goals that you have at hand. Where we could say, well, that really wasn't enough, or was, the intensity really wasn't, where it needed to be. So, we're looking at everything else on the in-body, or how your clothes are fitting or not fitting, or whatever the case, So we look at all the data.
Progress photos.
Everything. Right, progress photos too. So that's why, okay, so did we gain a pound? Yeah, but everything else. Or how are you sleeping? Where's your stress level? Are you hydrating enough? That kind of thing. Did you get all of your workouts in? Were you pushing the intensity? There's so much more to even add to that. Everything's so very individual. So that's why, we're looking things up on Pinterest, or these are basic. And even on MyFitnessPal, everything's very basic. So it's nice to have that specific check-in and not just have that accountability, but being able to be coached up and get things individualized, that's where you're going to be successful. Just we use that as a tool, as one tool, but it's not always accurate. Even with your heart rate too, like it could be all over the place. It doesn't necessarily mean it's where it needs to be.
That's why I can only watch one episode of Cops a day, because it'll throw off my caloric burn.
Exactly.
And be like, damn, why was your resting heart rate so high around 4 o'clock?
I had to change my shirt again.
I may have been sitting still. Yeah, I may have been sitting still, but I was just watching an intense episode of Cops. So, activity trackers are great. They are a great tool. You should definitely use them, right? You don't have to get an Apple Watch, right? There are Fitbits out there. They're like $80 to $100, $120. Fine. If you get an Apple Watch, I love my Apple Watch. If you get an Apple Watch, great. You don't have to get the latest one, right? So, I think I got like the next one down from that. It saved me like $150, and just do your research, right? Because like I know the latest Apple Watch out there, the difference basically is like it's got this new technology in it, but when you do your research on it, they're not really sure how they're going to use the new technology in it. It's just there in the watch. So like I mean, what the fuck are you using it for? You know, this is Get Smart. You know, are you Inspector Gadget? No, you're not. We're just trying to make sure you don't miss any texts and get some activity in. Like, that's about it. So, before we sign off, how many miles did you get in the last week?
I got 31 in.
I was gonna say Desi's been hitting it. Yeah, he's been solid.
Got back to the running big time this week.
Nice.
Even in the rainstorm.
God.
I went out and it was like drizzling, and then like the second I got like far enough away to not really want to turn back, it was like it came down.
Oh my God. But it does feel kind of good though sometimes, like to be in that. But you're like, well, I'm soaked, so whatever.
I mean, I took that in comparison to like it being 95 degrees out and so humid that it feels like 103. I'll take the rain.
Yeah.
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 It's good to get back to it.
Because it cools you off at the same time. You're like, yeah, well, I'm sweating, but I feel pretty good right now. Instead of, being in the humid, like almost like you're kind of in a sauna. It's like I'm not moving.
Yeah, I feel more like I'm running through water when it's humid out than when it's raining and I'm actually running through water.
Yeah.
It's like the air. It's just so thick.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but fuck running in the heat like that. It's crazy.
It's just knowing that I have to get it in. If I don't get it in, I'll be upset.
It's your meditation.
Yeah.
They need something. It's important,
What's your take on the LaMarcus Aldridge and DeAndre Jordan moves?
Well, people are mad because they're like, DeAndre, you're giving up defense for more offense. And I'm like, DeAndre Jordan wasn't doing shit anyway.
Not in recent years,
He did
no.
not play in the playoffs. He didn't play like the last half of the season. Blake Griffin played defense when he needed to. I'm sure LaMarcus Aldridge and Millsap can do that too.
DeAndre, I think, was better in the Knicks than he was with the Nets. And that's not saying much.
Yeah. So, I think that we've already kind of claimed the championship this year regardless. But, it's nice to get a couple old guys their first ring along the way.
And Aldridge came out of retirement, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. After, like, a scary thing with, like, an irregular heartbeat or something.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Pro athletes, you really got to watch it because a lot of them have enlarged hearts to begin with.
Yes.
So it's crazy. All right, so anything else to add?
No.
That does it for this week's episode of Overdrive AF. Again, remember to check out the best supplements in the game to accelerate your growth and achieve your goals on a faster path, right? Faster pace. Check out overdrivefitnessny.com/prestige labs. And for the best protein in the game, as far as not eating chalky powders, check out Muscle Egg. muscleegg.com/overdrive. 10% off your off your order, right? And if you need help picking out, let's say 4 for your monthly subscription, you can do what I do: chocolate caramel, chocolate mocha, fruit cereal, and then I flip-flop between vanilla and strawberry every month.
So good.
Oh, cake batter's in there too. So
Also good.
yeah, those are my staples.
And again, mix it up. Use it for different things. Bake with it, make your breakfast with it, add it in your oatmeal, put it in your shake, your smoothie, make French toast.
Yeah, I know Destroyer tried it once. I would advise to not do it again. Don't butt chug it. So it wasn't a great experience for you.
I mean, I did get the nutrients faster, but it wasn't worth it.
Silly.
So that does it for this week's episode of Overdrive AF. We'll catch you guys next week, and we are out.